So, quarantine has put us pretty far back. I'm probably gonna regret making this video. So, as your average millennial, I've taken the leap of watching a Netflix movie. Yes, lads, what a mad lad I am. So, um, I found a movie. It's pretty interesting. It's a crime thriller movie, and I really, really recommend you guys watching it. So, without further ado, I present to you. The movie is based from the book Gone Girl, written by Gillian Flynn. It's a story about a guy's crumbling marriage, but later found out that his wife has gone missing, and he has to figure out the reasoning for her disappearance. For crime thriller movies, I highly recommend this movie. Like, give it a go, man. It's a really different pace than your average traditional crime movies, and I love it. Really, man, you gotta try it. So we are introduced with a couple, followed by a really strange dialogue.
I picture cracking her lovely skull, unspooling her brains, trying to get answers.
We'll get this shot of a man named Nick standing outside, possibly taking out the trash, I don't know, distressed and anxious, but quickly and rushed back inside. Later, we saw him going a bar called The Bar. Yeah. So then we are introduced to the barmaid named Margot Dunn, which is Nick's twin. I'll call her Go from now on because everyone calls her that. And later, it's revealed that today it's Nick and Amy's anniversary. With Amy being the first woman in the shot. Hooray. The scene fades to black, and we are given a flashback introducing to Amy and how she met Nick. So, she met him on a party, and Nick has the most OP one sentence pickup line ever. And like that, he got her. From the conversation between Go and Nick, we know that Amy likes to play treasure hunt games every anniversary, and every anniversary varies from each other. And Nick has thought this idea to be absurd and had enough with it. Later, Nick has to rush home. To his surprise, the house living room table has shattered. Nick, who thought someone has broken in, goes and calls the police. And then there's Amy's second flashback. In this scene, we are introduced to Amy's parents, who are successful writers. They wrote a book called Amazing Amy. It's a children's book inspired by their daughter Amy, and right now they were celebrating Amy's wedding. Amazing Amy's wedding. Amy then points out that the characters in the book is a flawless version of herself, the one who became prodigy, excelling classes, and the one who gets the dog. End of second flashback. Nick is now being interviewed by the police on what's going on, which would result in a full investigation, or I would like to call it full CSI, on his house. With the police search, Detective Bonnie finds the first clue. I would like to add there's a scene where Nick stumbles with his father at the police station. I mean, what are the odds of meeting your father at a police station? Day 1 of Amy's disappearance. Amy's parents came to Missouri. Oh yeah, I would like to add, the setting for this movie is in Missouri. Amy's parents then got questioned by the police, and they told that one of Amy's exes, named Desi Collins, attempted suicide after breaking up with her. Damn, what a simp. Nick is then presented with the first clue by Detective Bonnie. Nick then solved the question, which leads to the second clue at Nick's office. He would eventually found the third clue, which is at Nick's father's house, but alas, failed to solve the third clue. So, it's the third flashback. In this flashback, they went bankrupt, and Nick is overspending with their non existing money, showing that Nick is a man child and sucks at Battlefield 3. Day 2 of Amy's disappearance. There's a Find Amy search and rescue event held by the majority of her fanbase. With all of that people and acquaintances, Nick felt pressured, causing him to act awkwardly around people. Given the amount of people who are there and monitoring you 24/7, I would probably do the same or worse than Nick. Just cracking a cold one with someone and get cancelled on Twitter. Just like that. Easy. But I digress. Fourth flashback. Nick and Amy have to move back to Missouri because Nick's mom has cancer. Amy, who didn't fully agree on this, states that Missouri is a perfect place for her to disappear, foreshadowing on what's gonna happen. This scene compared to the early marriage days and now, where Nick wasn't being a man-child, this shows how far they grew apart, how more and more sketchy Nick has become, to come as far as pushing her and wanting to hurt her more. Nick's a wife beater? Back to the present. Detective Bonnie gone out to search for a lead on her disappearance. She later found out that Amy tried to buy a gun, raising the question whether is it for self-defense? The third day of Amy's disappearance. The police are starting to buy Amy's story where Nick's a wife beater and she was murdered. Nick has to address the controversy of his unsympathetic behavior caught during the Find My Amy event. Noel Hawthorne, supposedly Amy's best friend, rushes in the middle of the crowd and asks Nick,
Job.
What did you do to your pregnant wife?
causing a mob to chase Nick. Detective Bonnie later then confronts Nick about whether he is telling the truth or not, and how all of this doesn't make sense, even to go as far as proving that the possible break-in was staged. Later that night, Nick tells Go that he actually wanted a baby and not Amy, and shows a doctor's statement from a fertility. At that same night, Nick managed to solve the third clue and leads to Go's shed. All the while, Detective Bonnie was searching at Nick's father's house and she found out about Amy's diary. So we get the final flashback. So we get a scene of basically a breakdown on how Amy framed Nick. Amazing scene. Just amazing, man. Rosamund Pike did amazing in this. She is perfect for the villainous female type character, the mastermind of it all. Referring to the flashbacks, as we progress further, we can see it slowly turns into Amy's falsified version. But the scene where he pushed Amy is kinda unknown to me. The truth that Nick wants a baby and Amy doesn't. And Nick also states that the argument didn't got heated and he never pushed her into the banister. But in the first scene of the movie, Nick...
I picture cracking her lovely skull, unspooling her brains, trying to get answers.
So, yeah, that's up to interpretation, I guess. All of this is planned because she caught Nick cheating. The realization of the time she spent with Nick is gone to waste. But If I'm being honest, I wouldn't be mad. But wait, there's more? We're still halfway through. Amy has been keeping a low profile at a resort, I guess. Then she met Greta. Meanwhile, Nick is trying to fix this by going to Tanner Bolt, which is a successful lawyer. Amy is then caught lying by Greta because Greta saw her bag of money and decides to rob her the next day. Amy, now moneyless, tries to use Desi for the time being. Almost a month after Amy's disappearance, Amy is now planning to escape from Desi. We then get to see Amy's plan day by day. Amy then executes her plan on escape by luring Desi to bed and ending up killing him, fulfilling the Forbidden Come ritual. I also love this scene. It just truly shows how far Amy can go just for her own sake. She later then drives back to Nick covered in blood. Amy then tells a falsified story to the media and the police for the reason of her disappearance, stating that it was Desi all along. Everyone believes her and her every word except for Detective Bonnie, Nick, Tanner Bolt, and Go. This scene coupled with the music is just perfect. It shows how powerful Amy is. The music, like Home by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, has a ambient tone in the beginning and being up completely eerie in the end. I like to nitpick that the scene from where Nick is playing a game, we can clearly see that it's added in post production. They could have easily made him play Sonic or something, or even Minecraft. And I still don't know why Nick in the first scene said that he wanted to hurt Amy. But still, overall, a great movie. Really doesn't affect anything. So, like the video if you do, or don't if you don't. I don't know. I'm trying out a different style of video, and I thought this might be fun thing to do. So, yeah. Ciao.